Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. So in this video we're gonna see how we can authenticate a user with Firebase. Basically it's just a term, Firebase authentication. We have already authenticated with Auth, so as a provider, so that's done. So basically this was requested by one of our subscribers, so that's why I'm posting this video. Okay, before that we have reached 500 subscribers, so I would like to thank each and everyone who are supporting me. Keep supporting. If you are new to my channel, don't forget to subscribe and personalize your notification, because I have more of playlists on each and everything, all the segment like others, technology, pets and everything. So whatever you are interested in, please go ahead and subscribe. Without further hurdle, we can go into the video. So as a first step, what we have to do is we should have a project in Firebase, okay, because we are going to authenticate a user with Firebase. So I have created a project called Auth demo. Okay, so you can go ahead and look into my previous video on how to connect to Firebase with an Angular project. So I'm going to create a basic scratch project. New Auth demo. Okay, let's say demo. Okay, so by the time it's get created, we will see what all things we have to do here in Firebase. So in Firebase, once you create the project, you have to create an app. Okay, so I've added a web app. So for that web app, I have this configuration key, so I can use this key to connect to this project. So so all the connection stuff I have already explained to you in my previous videos. So I'll give the link in the description, so you can go ahead and view that. So once you have done, so once you're connected to Firebase, so you have to go here to the authentication segment. If you have any user who are already authenticated to inside this application, so for them you can view here. Okay, and then so here is the sign-in methods. Sign-in methods, you can see email, password, phone, Google, Firebase, Facebook, Twitter, GitHub. Like, there are plenty. All these you can use in your application and authenticate the user. Okay, all these providers you can use. Even if you use email password, you can also send an email verification link to them. Once that is verified, you can make use of that user. Like once that is verified, then you can show your age or something, whatever you want, you can do. Okay, in this video I'm going to explain you on Google as a provider. So once you click on login, it should so I just haven't, so I was looking into this page like in Medium, so I just want to have similar implementation in our application. Okay, I don't think that will be much complicated, because I'm just going to explain you only this particular button, so it will be easy for me. Once this is done, like it will be much more easy for you to understand other providers as well. Okay, Google is very much easy, because for Facebook and all, you need an app ID and other stuff that you have to register in developers.facebook. If you want a video on Facebook, you just let me in comment, so that I'll do. So here you just have to enable the Google sign-in method as a provider. So I just enabled it and save it. So once you save, you can see that is enabled. Okay, you can also enable email and password if you want to authenticate a user with email and password. So that's done. Let's see the password. Okay, here, yes, we need a routing. Let it be CSS. It's installing the package. I think it might take some time. So there you go. We got the package installed. So let us go into the project. Okay, we have to move to that directory. Actually, I've opened the project in the same directory. That's why we have to open inside this directory, right? So open it here. So there you go. We got the project. Let me open a new terminal. And this So as the first time, you can see it will compile each and every modules whatever we have in our application. So it might take some time. So bear with me. So you can see our application got compiled successfully. So let me open that in the browser. Host demo. Okay, application is running. That's fine. We'll go here and we'll start our modification. Let me stop the server and I'll create a new terminal. To connect to Firebase, we need a plugin for connection. So I'm going to install the Firebase 2 plugin. So that's what we need here. Okay. So it's npm install Firebase and Firebase Angular/5. Okay, so these two plugins are required. The two packages are required for us to connect to Firebase. So let it install. All right, the packages, both the packages are installed. So now let me go to the node directory. So now we're going to connect the Firebase. So let me open our environment folder. So here, so we don't have anything. So let me create our config. So we need the configurations to connect to our database, like our Firebase. So for this, we know project settings. So once you create this, you will get this app key and everything. So just have to copy everything. I'll copy this. Okay, paste it here. Const keyword here. Firebase config. This is enough. Just remove that. Okay. So what we're going to do is we are going to make use of this configuration and initialize our application to start the Firebase. So this is all already explained to you. So in my previous video, so I don't have to explain it again. Just, we need Angular Fire module from. second. Okay, so maybe package is not started. It's there, no? So it should be there. Okay, so this is a module, and we also need the authentication module. So I'll import that as well from Angular Fire slash. So this is where our authentication module exists. Angular Fire Auth. Okay, so with this Fire module, I'm going to initialize our application. So dot initialize app environment dot Firebase config. Okay, so this config has all the details of our Firebase. So I also have to initialize the auth module. So that's it. This is what is required for us, to have our Firebase configuration as part of our Firebase module. Okay, so this is done. We have to go now to the. We'll just remove all this stuff. We don't need all this. Just remove everything. We'll just leave only this one. Okay, Control Shift Home. That's it. This is done. So now you should not see anything here. I think the application is not running. So let's go here and serve it. Fine. Okay. So now I'm going to create. So let it start. So by the meanwhile, we'll create one more file. Let me create a folder inside this. Shared. Okay. So inside this, I'm going to create one more file called user. So that's going to be our user file. So .ts. Okay. So I'm going to export interface the user, user ID, string, email, string, display name, it's going to be string. Okay, and if there is any image, photo you want, it's going to be string. Okay, and if there is an email verified, it's going to be Boolean. Okay, so these are all the user details which you'll be getting from Firebase. So that's why we have the same structure. Okay, so now I'm going to have one service which interacts with Firebase. So instead of having the service call in each and every component, so we are going to have that here in this shared component named as auth. Okay, so I'm going to generate an ngg service shared /u. Okay, so in this auth, it's going to create the shared folder. It's going to create one service file called auth. Okay, auth.service. So hope that's created. So where is it? Should be here, no? Okay, I think this file has to be moved inside this. Yes, and actually we have created something wrong. We can remove this folder. It's not required for us. Okay, fine. So all the stuffs are ready, the user is created, and now in this auth service we are going to inject our Firebase Authentication service, and then we're going to authenticate the user. Fine. Get private Auth Angular Auth. Okay, so this module is responsible for handling all the login functionalities. So I'm going to say login with Google. Okay, so this start dot sign in with pop-up. Okay, I'm going to use new auth. Okay, we need a provider, right? So provider, you can pick it from import Firebase from Firebase/app. Okay. Okay, actually it should be in this package. Let me see. Firebase import okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this Firebase and auth dot. Okay, so here you can see all the providers. I'm going to take this provider. Okay, I'm going to take this Google as a provider and send it. Okay, so this is gonna be a async function. Async function that's gonna await, and once the result is back, okay, once this is done, so I'm going to say console.log. Login successful. Fine. And if there is a failure, I'm going to catch that. I'm going to catch an error if there is an error. Like, let's see. error while signing. Okay, and I also pass the error. Fine. So this basically this function will make a sign-in pop-up with a provider called Google. Okay, so now here I'm also going to do one more thing. I'm going to import our user from /user. Okay, so this user is gonna be set once we have it. Okay, okay, this is done. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to check whether there is an user already signed in. If this dot auth state dot subscribe user, then this. Okay, I don't think that this is required. If it's required, let me remove that. Okay, this is there. Fine. The user. Got it. So if there is any user already subscribed, so in the auth state, the Firebase authentication, then that user will will get inside this user object, and we are going to set to our user local variable. Fine, let me save it. There is an error. Let me check what is it. It is coming from. Okay, done. So auth service, it's going to be called. Let me create a button here. Okay. Login with Google. I'm gonna say click. I'm going to create this function now inside a component. Let me have a constructor which injects the auth service. Say auth service dot. Okay. This dot auth service dot login with Google. Okay, let me save it. We go here. Okay, here you can see our login button. Let me click on this. So if you look at here, it's redirecting to our Firebase authentication. So you can see here it is authenticating us with our Google credentials. Either we can use a different account or you can also use this account. So let me click on this. Let me inspect now. So you can see login is successful. So once like this, up to this you can see like this is how we are handling the authentication. So you can see the user here in this. Like, you can go to authentication. If you see here, there is a user who is already authenticated. Okay, so in business logic, you can either once the login is done, you can redirect to home page or whatever dashboard, to their dashboard. You can do whatever you want. That's up to you. So this is a simple example how to connect to Firebase authentication. This is with Google. So if you want more video on the same signal, like if you want with email and password or with Facebook, so do let me in comment. I'll post a video on that. Hope this video is useful for you, um, to authenticate with Firebase authentication, a user. Thanks for watching this video. Keep supporting me, keep sharing.